Hello, everyone. Yeah, you may have noticed something a little different about my face. I just got home. I'd been working all day on a movie set, so I didn't have any time to scrub my makeup off. So I just wanted to get here and be able to broadcast the news for you tonight. Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Martha Anger. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. We have an update to a story we told you about on Monday. Police in Alabama have identified the woman killed after an altercation at a popular hangout near the University of Alabama. And the victim's mother says she knows why her daughter was killed. "23-year-old Jamia Janae Harris was visiting her cousin in Tuscaloosa. Her mother says as Harris and her boyfriend were leaving, a man approached their vehicle and started shooting. According to the mother, her daughter was shot because she declined a basketball player's advances. "21-year-old University of Alabama basketball player Darius Miles has been charged with the murder. Investigators say 20-year-old Michael Lynn Davis also has been charged in the shooting. A monument meant to honor Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King's legacy is stirring controversy instead. The 20-foot-tall, 40-foot-wide statue called The Embrace was unveiled Friday in Boston. The statue is located in Boston Common, where King gave a speech on April 23, 1965, to a crowd of about 22,000 people. It was inspired by a photographer of King and Scott King that captured them hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. But the art piece has sparked criticism and mockery online, with some people saying it resembles a sex act. King family members are divided too. Seneca Scott, a cousin of Coretta Scott King, says there's a stump on the artwork that looks like a penis. But Martin Luther King III says he likes it, and he's grateful to see a representation of his parents' love story. The FAA meltdown that led to a ground stop of all U.S. airplane departures now has lawmakers on both sides of the aisles demanding answers. They sent a letter to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, concerned that the FAA technology issues that led to the disruption of thousands of flights could be a bigger problem than we realize. Travel experts say the majority of flights are back on schedule now, but passengers can prepare for potential trouble by doing the following: reading the fine print on their ticket for refund policies, book nonstop flights to reduce the chance of disruption, and book early morning flights to avoid the domino effect of disruption like the FAA disaster last week. We are now 3 years into the pandemic, and many people have stopped wearing masks in public. But the World Health Organization is urging everyone to mask up again if you've been exposed to COVID, are at a high risk for the virus, or are in a crowded, poorly ventilated space. The agency also issued new guidelines about isolation. It recommends that patients with symptoms test negative before leaving isolation. And those who test positive but have no symptoms are still encouraged to isolate for 5 full days. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, has agreed to a huge pay cut this year, even though shareholders rebelled against it. The company says it will reduce Cook's target pay package to $49 million. That's roughly 40% lower than his target pay for 2022. And about half of the $99.4 million in total compensation he was granted last year. The vast majority of Cook's 2022 compensation, 75%, was tied up in company shares, with half of that dependent on share price performance. But shareholders voted against Cook's pay package after Apple stock fell more than 25% last year. Cook's base salary of $3 million will stay the same, as well as his $6 million bonus. Fans of Disney's The Mandalorian were excited to hear the official trailer for the 3rd season has dropped. It takes place after the events of the series The Book of Boba Fett. Pedro Pascal returns in the role of the Mandalorian. And for the new season, the reunited Mandalorian and Grogu, also known to fans as Baby Yoda, even though he's not Yoda, head off on a new adventure. Season 3 starts streaming on Disney Plus on March 1st. A Minnesota electrician and amateur scuba diver has created a spooky underwater legend that has gone viral. 10 years ago, Doug Klein created a life-size Jason Voorhees statue in honor of the Friday the 13th movie. Klein and another diving buddy buried the creepy statue in a watery grave in Lake Crosby. And there it has remained for a decade. Viral videos of the sunken, scary statue have garnered dozens of views, as well as visits from divers from all over the world who want to catch a glimpse of Jason. Yeah, that's creepy. But I want to dive it myself and take a picture with it. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. Big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone, and you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.